Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you on Friday, January the 14th. The year's 2022. Let's talk trading. Weekly wrap up. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. Let's just go right to the charts. We're at the weekly chart, and you can see we've pulled 92 pips away from the weekly high. We're 125 over the weekly low and 87 above the weekly open. And looking at the dashboard here, all of the gaps have filled. And we look at the opening range for the day and the month. You can see that we're well above both. We're 56 above the opening range high, which is Monday's high for the week there, and 126 for the month, which was the opening day for the month and the year for that matter. But as you can see, we're pulling back nicely. Anybody playing that upper wick zone or doing a top scrape there of a couple days ago high, you were definitely rewarded. We are 131 pips above that yearly open, as you can see. We didn't quite get close to that monthly inside bar high of 38.40 there, 175 pips off of it at the moment. But you can see there was a nice weekly breakout last week of that inside bar. So any of you inside bar traders were definitely rewarded. Today, a pounds high minus low, aka range, is clocking in at 87 pips at the moment. As you can see, looks like we're pushing down to make new lows. But we forgot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pairs over 100 pips in range today. So it's nice to see that the markets are waking up, even though it's a Friday. And first we had a couple of nice runs through the buy zone, and then we have a nice run through the short zone. So if you took that trade, it might have pushed you to almost stop out, but you can see it didn't close above the daily open. So if you remained in that trade, you were rewarded. And at the time, I don't think there was enough range, so let's just double check it. Was there enough range? No, not quite enough range for red rats to feast. Green rats, I wouldn't even think about it right now because it looks like this market's probably just going to go lower, or this pair is just going to go lower. It might get to the 40s and bounce, which is something I'll show you in a couple of seconds. I was talking to Walmall earlier, and I was telling him what price was going to do. It was pretty funny. I said, okay, it's going to crack the double low. It's going to go down to 95. It's going to reverse, probably get up to the 05. Then it'll come back down. Then it'll go to the 90. Then it'll go back up. Then it'll go to 75. And then after 75, it'll go to 60. And it was just pretty funny. I pretty much, it's like I had a crystal ball. But after you start trading these pairs, you can just read the charts like a book, and it's like, hey, I've been here before. I know what's going to happen. Of course, full disclosure, because we had bad U.S. news, I was telling Walmart right here, I was saying, chances are we haven't had enough range, so it's probably going to test this high. Well, it never did. It only got to the about 22 here, and then it reversed. So that's why you never, ever, ever trade based on the news. What you do is you trade on the market's reaction to the news. So the funny thing is, I just to see when the news is, but I never, ever, ever look to see what the news is during trading. But Walmart told me what it was. I just said, you know what? It's probably going to be bad for the U.S., which means it'll probably be good for the dollar. So when price started going up, go long, but you can see it didn't continue. So then you just have to take your profit or cut your loss because it didn't do what I thought it was going to do based on the news. So then you have to just trade what you see, pure price action. And let's see, we are near well, actually, we went through S1 and it was calling bias long, but obviously there was no long trade there. And if you probably noticed, I have to wait for a tick to come through here. I've done some modifications to the SDK indicator. And for some strange reason, my computer's been acting up this morning. I don't know if it's MT4, if it's my computer, but I think I might just have to pause the video because, oh no, now it's responding. There we go. So I put my own labels out there so you can see how far price is away from the lines. I don't know why more guys that write indicators don't do this. I was talking to Walmart about it. I go, maybe people don't like to know that information. Maybe I'm the only one. I don't know. Okay, looking at the pivots, we took out today's pivot. We took out yesterday's pivot that was missed. We've got this pivot here that's been missed. And we've got this pivot here that's been missed this month. So we still have two pivots that got to get taken out here. Well, they don't have to get taken out, but they probably get taken out sometime this month. As you can see, this pivot got taken out. And we look at the weekly. We took out the weekly pivot. But the monthly, we missed it by 19, but who knows? We still have 2 trading weeks left in the month. Anything could happen. The wick zone trade, daily wick zone, it was basically into the upper, but then it came out at the bottom, in and out of the bottom or lower daily wick zone, and then you can see the rest is history there. Range this week, 217. I think I mentioned at the end of last week, chances are we had 2 muted weeks. Chances are we'll get a big week, and we did. And I'm calling it over 200 a big week because you can see it at the 66th percentile out of the last 12 bars, and the average over the last 12 bars was 192. The high broke out 151 pips, so there was a nice breakout there. High to close right now 94, close to low 123. So for the buy zone traders or weekly open crossover traders, high minus the open 179, open minus the low 38. So you can see here 179 is way over the average, and the 38 is way under the average. So once again, those were all simple horizontal line trades you could take. Looking at the sweet spots with the Walmart lines, once again, this hour paid off. And just about every hour for the past, 4 or 5 hours here has been paying off nicely. And if you look, we've got here, or you can count them, you got 8 red candles in a row. I mean, that's just a nice move off the high of 88 pip move to the downside. One of the things I was going to mention was, and you can really see it well, I think on the M30. You know how I like to call the 40s the launch pad? Well, if you look right here, you can see in the 40 a huge candle that took it all the way in the 40 level to over 60. And then here at 36.40, once again, a huge candle takes it from the 40 level all the way over the 60 level, which it actually went up to the 80 level. So it's just something about these prices ending in 40. So you've got 35.40, you got 36.40, but then at 37.40, it ran out of gas. It never made it to 60. You can see it tried it twice yesterday, tried it once today, and it was just like, just wasn't enough gas in the tank to cross and close above that 40 line. So if it's not closing above, then it must be going the other way. Once again, trade what you see. Keep it simple. Higher low, lower high. There was a couple of nice trades here at the 36.87 level, which is the most recent one. Once again, one ball closed, black candle, bear candle. Heading south, take the trade at the line. Rest is history. Never threaten to stop. Now, we were talking this week about problem solving. I think we're going to continue it. Might just do that. Well, just do it till we find something else to talk about. But one of the things about problem solving is, and it goes with that quote, about perfection, when you can't take anything else away. Because when you look at problems, there's usually problems of commission, what you're doing quote unquote wrong, and problems of omission, what you're quote unquote not doing right. So I'm thinking, if you list the things that you do when you're trading, and you have to be real honest with yourself, because you might say, well, yeah, I do my stop losses, but in reality, you don't. And if I were to sit there and look at you, I go, look, you're not using your stop losses. You go, well, they're in my head. I go, if they're not in the machine, you're not using your stop losses. Don't kid yourself, because you'll come up with an excuse not to stop out. You'll find a reason somewhere on the chart or with the indicators or statistics or whatever to stay in the trade when you should just stop out and just be managing the money. So make that list and look at them and say, okay, which one of these things, if I were to stop, completely stop, that it could possibly make my trading more profitable? So that's your homework assignment for the weekend. Now, if you're wondering what I've got on the screen here, it's really pretty basic stuff. I upgraded the training wheels breakout indicator here. So now it talks about these 5 time frames, and they're hard coded at the moment. I don't know if I'm going to soft code them or not, but as you can see, there's no inputs for that. Then I just got the candle color multimeter and the time indicator and the B clock. If you're wondering, why do I have this and this at the same, when they both pretty much do the same thing? Reason I have this is because if I post that on a forum or when you're watching a video, you can have some idea of what time it was that I was doing this. And then that way people can go, oh yeah, he was doing this in real time. He's not cherry picking. He's not making stuff up. It's mainly for documentation purposes. And this is just, I usually look at the, excuse me, I usually look to the lower right to see how much time's left in the candle when I'm trading. Then HL5, it's just showing the highs and the lows, only showing the ones that haven't been crisscrossed, magnified market price, and the spread dots here, and the 3 level ZZ. Nothing too esoteric. So once again, just keeping it simple and trading what I see. So fellow traders, I hope you had a profitable week, profitable month so far, and I hope you have a fun and safe weekend. When you come back to trade, always remember and never forget, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.